Hello guys, so this week I've been reading Unshakeable by Robbins, and there was a lot of interesting ideas that I decided I wanted to share with you. I'm going to divide this book into two videos. This one, the part one, is going to be about compound interest, investment, and the stock market. While the second one is going to be about how can we protect ourselves for the next bear market, for the next market crash. Well, let's start with this one. First things first, compound interest. Like Einstein said, this is the eighth wonder of the world, and it's most likely to be the best thing to help you achieve your financial freedom. So compound interest is like it's a rate of return that acts on your accumulated amount of money. Let's see this with an example. Imagine two friends. First, both of them have $20,000 to invest. Both of them invest on things with a rate of return with 10% every year. And both of them invest for 20 years. So the first one doesn't use compound interest, so he invests $20,000 and every year he receives 10% of those $20,000, so every year he receives $2,000. After 20 years he has accumulated an amount of $60,000. On the other hand, the second friend, who used compound interest, also had $20,000 to invest, also invests in the rate of return of 10%, and he also invests for 20 years. But this one, once he used compound interest, in the first year he made a rate of return of $2,000, which is the 10% of the $20,000, but in the second year he made 10% of the accumulated amount, so he made 10% of $22,000. And this repeats itself after 20 years, so at the 20th year he has over $120,000, which is more than double of what his friend made. So this is the power of compound interest. Now, to benefit from this compound interest, you need to have money in the game. You need to put money in the game, so you need to invest. And to invest, you need first before you invest, you need to save money. And to save money, you should put a tax on your wealth. You should put a wealth tax on your income. For instance, ideally, you should put 20% of your income aside. Don't touch this. This 20% of your income should be invested. Only should be invested. At any circumstances other than investment, you should touch that money. But most of us, 20% of the income is not sustainable because we have bills to pay, we have expenses, and we have debts. So you can't just put 20% of your income. But you should not give up. You should start with baby steps. Maybe you should start with 3% or 5%, and slowly you add up yourself until you're in 20% of your income putting aside to an investment account. Well, one thing that can help you achieve the 20% is during 1 month you keep track of all your expenses. You see where you spend every dime that you have. So after that month you will look at a notebook where you pointed all those things, and you will see the things that are useful, that you shouldn't have spent your money. All the crap that you bought that you really don't need. So in the second month, you don't do the same mistake. And this is how you can achieve the 20% of your income putting aside every month. Now, it comes a question, where should I put my money? Where should I invest my money? Well, that's your money. It's in the stock market. To most people, the stock market is something that they are really frightful, because they don't understand, they've already lost money in that. So they think it's something really complicated, something volatile, and something really unpredictable. But the thing is, if you study the stock market, if you see the chart, if you analyze them, and if you understand the concept, you start seeing some patterns, you start seeing some things that repeat itself. And once you see these things, it becomes more easy for you to invest in the market and to actually make profit from it, and to achieve a financial level stable, or a really good financial stable, or even making money for your financial freedom. So Tony Robbins has studied the market and the patterns of the market, and he has developed 7 patterns that he found in the market. But before I go to the 7 patterns, I'm going to talk a little bit about bull markets, bear markets, and corrections. So a bull market, it's when the stock prices are going up. The market, it's in an uptrend. The stock prices of the companies are getting higher and higher. On the other hand, a bear market, it's when the stock companies are getting lower and lower. The market, it's in a downtrend. Now, about the corrections. So in a bull market, when the market is going higher and higher, it doesn't go higher in a straight line. It goes up, it goes down a bit, it goes up, it goes down a bit, a little bit like this. So it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it bounces back up, it finds a support, and it goes back up again. So this little line in here, this little downtrend on the bull market, this is called a correction. And the thing is, a lot of people see corrections as frightening because they start seeing the price coming down, and they start to seeing their margin being lower and lower, and then they start to sell. But they start to sell at the worst time, because the correction, once it finds a support, once the correction reach a level of support, it bounces back up and it makes a new high. So they are losing the opportunity to increase their profit, to increase their margin of profit. And the pattern number one, it's about corrections. Pattern number one is corrections happens every year. Since the 1900s, when Tony Robbins started analyzing the stock market, from until 2015 or 16, when the book was released, he found out that the corrections happen every year. So every year there was a correction. So correction is not something to be afraid of. You shouldn't sell your investment just because your money is going down, just because the stock price is going down. It might be just a correction, and once it finds its support level, it bounces back up again and it makes a new high. So just to be clear, corrections happens every year on average. You shouldn't be terrified by them. They are something normal. Stock pattern number two, also about correction, is that only 20% of the corrections turn into bear markets. So only 1 in 5 corrections actually ends up turning into a bear market, into a downtrend. So don't freak out just because you see a correction. Chances are that it's going to bounce back up again, it's going to find a support level, it's going to make a new high. So probabilities are on your side. Your 1 to 5%, your 1 to 5 chance that corrections are going to make new highs. They are not turning into bear markets. Now, let's go to stock market fact number 3. And this one is, no one can predict the market. So, you might see a lot of people talking on television, a lot of economists, a lot of analysts talking about when the next market crash is going to be. But the truth is, these guys don't know it. These guys have no idea when the stock market is going to crash. They are just talking this stuff to make it stuck to the television channel, to make them audiences. They just want to block your attention. They have no idea what they are talking about. Tony Robbins has talked to the greatest investors of all time, and none of them admitted that they can beat the market. No one knew how to predict the market. They just study the market and they adjust to it. And all of them said it's stupid trying to predict the market, because you will never outsmart the market. So don't believe everything you see on the television, and don't freak out just because you heard someone saying when the next market crash is going to happen. Now, stock pattern number 4. On the long run, the stock market will always reach new highs. I'm not saying that every company is going to reach new highs on the stock price, because some of them might drop out to zero and you will lose all of your investment money. What I'm saying is that the best companies and the index funds, like Index 500 S&P, the S&P 500 stock, sorry, that's how it goes, in the long run, eventually it will always make new highs. And the reason for this is, now and then, in the future, the workers are getting more productive, and technology is helping companies to make better products and to minimize their costs. So in the long run, the company's tendency will make more profits. The profits of the companies will be higher, and this is why the stock market in the long run will always be higher and higher. So let's go to stock pattern number 5, and this one is, bear markets happen every 3 to 5 years. So, on average, since Tony Stock analyzed from 1900s till today, The bear market happened on average every 3 to 5 years. But the thing, what we have to retain is this: bear markets are a part of the stock market. We don't know when they are going to happen. We just know that they are going to happen. It's a normal part. But you should look at them not with panic, but to look at them as an opportunity. Imagine this: when it's the best time for you to buy clothes? It's when they are on sale, when the brands are on sale, because with the same amount of money you can buy more. Same thing happens with the companies and the stock crash, with the bear market. So when you are in the bear market, the price of the company is going to drop really low. So the company will be most likely on sale, and the bear market will provide you a price for stock price of the company for sale. So once the market bounces back up again, your margin of profit will be much higher. And this is why you should look at the bear markets as an opportunity, because you can buy stocks on sale. And now we're going to pattern number 6. And pattern number 6 really is similar to pattern number 5, and it's correlated. Is this: every bear market turns into a bull market. So remember when I said bear markets are great opportunities to buy? So if you buy in the bear market on the sale price really low, you're most likely sure, because it's what has been happening since forever, that the bear market is going to turn into a bull market. So if you buy on the bear market, your profit margin will be much higher, because next you will face yourself in the bull market. So don't miss the opportunity, don't panic just because you see a bear market, because chances are that market will turn into a bull market, and you will be, if you don't invest, you'll be losing a great opportunity to make money. And this, to conclude, is similar to pattern number 7. Pattern number 7 is more like a wake-up call. It's about the greatest risk of stock market. It's not the bear markets. It's not losing money. The greatest risk of the stock market is being out of the game. It's not putting your money in the stock market. So imagine this: Tony Robbins talks about a study that showed with a range of 20 years, since 1995 until 2015, what would happen if the same person would have invested $2,000 every year in the stock market, or if that person would invest $2,000 every year into a saving account and keep it in cash. So if that person invests $2,000 every year and he entered the market right before a bear market, right before the market went up in a downtrend, after 20 years, every year putting $2,000, you end up with more money than the person who puts every year $2,000 in cash, even though the person who entered just before a bear market and starts seeing the company prices going down and down in market, entering in the downtrend, that person after 20 years would have ended up with more money than the person who put $2,000 in cash. This means it doesn't matter when you enter the market. There is no perfect timing. The worst thing you can do is not enter the market. Well, and I hope I make myself clear about the importance of compounding investments, and I open your eyes a little bit more about the stock market. And it's not something to be afraid of. It's something to be studied, and it repeats itself. It has a pattern. It has patterns. And once you understand those patterns, chances are you will end up making money with your investments. So thank you very much, guys, for watching, and see you in video number 2.